really kind of have settled in, maybe even more so Kiko Porto. He's got a 32-point lead heading into today, and both those drivers looking very strong. And we keep talking, Parker, you and I, about how this race at Mid-Ohio is always that transition event that kind of sets the stage to the push to the championship. And it seems to me, to a certain extent, a two-horse race. But again, like we said, Porto, really impressive with a 32-point lead.
So when we talk about 32-point lead for the fans at home, just to put some perspective on that, that's essentially a race in the bag.
Yeah, full race, yeah.
A full race in the bag. So maximum points is 33. That's a win plus fastest lap, pole, and most laps led. We covered that a little bit yesterday. But really, it's even more than a race because you're not getting, let's say Kiko unfortunately crashes in race 3.
That's true.
Finishing last, you're still probably bagging 5 to 10 points
That's
here
right.
with a 25-car field.
That's the whole issue, right? Yes, even with a big field that we have, you're still going to nag a couple little points here and there. Starting up front, though, the one thing about Mid-Ohio is turn 1, turn 2, turn 4. You never know what's going to happen. Of course, as you mentioned this yesterday, drivers have now been through a couple of starts here and a couple of restarts, so some of the rookie drivers maybe will get a little more aggressive. And again, turning point of the season, some drivers like a Christian Brooks starting back in, I think, 16th position or something you said earlier. Wow, he's going to have to send it to get to the front.
Well, you've got Christian, you've got Juven, you've got these guys that have, they dominated the first half of the season. They're starting outside the top 10. And then not only that, I always bring this up, the cars don't have to roll back on the truck now.
That's true.
It's race 3.
That's true.
We've got quite some time before our next race.
That's right.
All of a sudden, cars don't have to go back in the truck.
And let's throw one more little wrench in the plans here as well. A couple of drivers coming in yesterday kind of sacrificing their second race because the way qualifying went, we only had the one qualifying session. So for the race number 3, it is the second fastest race lap in qualifying or your fastest race lap from race number 2. And a number of drivers from J. Howard Driver Development, Jackson Lee and Peter Vodanovich came in, put fresh tires on yesterday. They're going to start 5th and 6th. We'll throw a couple of J. Howard guys right in the middle of the mix at the start of this race as well.
Well, and Rob, we've talked about it before. It's so difficult to pass here.
That's it.
So all of a sudden, you've got some guys that probably haven't been in the mix at the front, and now they're mingling with the front guys. It's funny how that goes sometimes. You generally in a season race in pods, and what I mean by that is the guys that are similar pace to you, you end up racing a lot. So when a guy came in that's probably outside the top 10 and is now starting within the top 5,
that's true. Yeah.
Throws it kind of off for the other guys, right? It's a different dynamic.
So let's jump over to Indy Pro 2000. We've got the one pre-show here and 3 races coming for you here on Road to Indy TV. Indy Pro 2000. It's kind of been the Christian Rasmussen show here a little bit. He's won a bunch of races this year, has a pretty solid point lead over Braden Eves right now, but he's going to start 3rd today. It's actually going to be Hunter McElroy from Pabst Racing on the front row. Good job for him. Maybe a little too late in terms of his championship contention and his aspirations, but he'll start pole alongside, I believe, Artem Petrov.
It's going to be really interesting. Christian, we've seen it before. He is, I don't want to say checkers or wreckers, but he usually...
You can say that.
You usually see Christian either bringing the car back home in first place or, as we saw in Road America, not bringing it back at all. So it's going to be interesting. He sounds so much more mature this year. Agreed. He does sound like he gets it. I had him on the show yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see if he can bring it home.
So my thing here is he's got a point lead right now. He starts 3rd. Do we see the maturation of Christian Rasmussen where he starts to get that kind of Scott Dixon mindset of, hey, I'm going to take the car and bring it home and get the points I need to win a championship, or does he try to go for the lead? Because Hunter McElroy's got nothing to lose. He's going to want to win this race. Same goes for Artem Petrov. He's quite a ways back right now. He needs to get the win. He needs the full points, the 30 points for today. So those two drivers with more, I think, designs on trying to win this race as opposed to Rasmussen, who could finish 3rd, bank those points, and head to the next race and be pretty happy.
100%. And I think this race, too, in Indy Pro 2000 is really going to set the precedent for that, and we'll see if Christian can come through. Before we go to USF2000 Race 3, though, we've got to talk about Indy Lights. This is the pre-show for all 3 this morning. Indy Lights, can't talk about Indy Lights without talking about Kyle Kirkwood right now. I think I saw a stat yesterday. He's won 7 races in a row here.
Yeah, well, I think it's 10 races. All 10 races he's been here at this particular track, he has won. Steve Wittig from TSL Ladder put it on. A couple of F3 race wins, a couple of F4 race wins, USF 2003, then the Indy Pro 2000. Indy Lights. He's never been beaten at Mid-Ohio, although his teammate Daniel Frost will be on pole today. That's his 3rd pole in 4 races for Daniel Frost, so look for him to potentially go for the win today.
Yeah, I like talking about Daniel Frost. Kyle, obviously, if you think a championship, it looks like he's pretty dominant for it. We'll see. He's always very strong in this summer swing.
Exactly
but
that.
Daniel Frost to go out and beat him as a teammate, same car, same machinery. I like that storyline, and we'll see.
I did too.
I know Kyle does not want to lose his 11th straight race.
No,
here.
he does not. And one thing to watch out for, of course, the HMD drivers who started so good are still strong. You know, David Malukas had a third-place finish yesterday, luckily not to get into the wall when he went off in turn number 9 coming into Thunder Valley. All four wheels off the racetrack, just a little off on the entry line coming into there. Both he and Linus Lundqvist, they're seeing this championship start to kind of go into the Kyle Kirkwood side of the equation. They're going to need to step up pretty soon here as well. Lots more racing still to come. We just got through the halfway point of Indy Lights. Unlike USF2000 Indy Pro, we're kind of in the kind of stretch run for them. Lots of racing, the West Coast swing, a lot of stuff still going on for Indy Lights. But if I'm HMD, if I'm Malukas, if I'm Lundqvist, I'm like, hey, I got to plug the dam here right now because Kirkwood's coming.
Well, and you already talked about it. Drivers are making mistakes. Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, one of the toughest tracks to make things happen. So let's check out a track segment before we throw it to USF 2000 Race 3 this morning. Ask any professional race car driver what the most technical racetrack in North America is, and you can guarantee that Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course will make everybody's shortlist. This 13-turn, 2.3-mile road course is the hidden gem of the Midwest. Mid-O, as the kids call it, has been a staple for our Road to Indy Championships for the last decade, and this weekend it will play a vital role to all 3 ladder series as we get the summer swing underway for 2021. The lap here at Mid-Ohio starts with every driver hustling their machines as close to flat as possible through turn 1 at speeds of excess of 120 miles per hour. Next up is turn 2 and the famous keyhole, which sets the run down the back straight into turn 4, which is our biggest braking zone and our best passing zone for this race weekend. Turn 4, 5, and 6 starts the roller coaster back section here at Mid-Ohio that takes rhythm and precision to execute. The roller coaster section continues into turn 9, which is a blind 90-degree corner that takes the utmost trust in drivers' machines and ability in order to navigate through and onto the other side into Thunder Valley. You've got a short time to catch your breath before turn 10 and 11, which has the speed of turn 1, but with the added difficulty of being blind again with no room for error on exit because of the quick transition downhill and into the famous carousel corner at turn 12. Once you've gathered your car up in the carousel, it's a straight shot over the bump and through to turn 13. That's all it takes for a lap here around Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate America's birthday than having the Road to Indy racing in the Midwest. Happy 4th of July to all of our American racing fans, and let's get ready for fireworks on and off the racetrack.
Hey, your Uncle Cooper here. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Goldie, my niece, your cousin, and Goldie didn't know which tires were right for her. The first ones were too much tire, and then the next ones were not enough tire. Anyway, long story short, Goldie found the Coopers, and they were just right. What a happy, practical ending. Go to sleep. I love you.
Go with the Coopers.
Cooper!
Karting and motorsport enthusiasts, Lucas Oil School of Racing is America's #1 Formula Car race school. Enjoy modern paddle shifters, pit speed limiter, and onboard video along with integrated data systems. Get started today with our 2-day basic or advanced course. Lucas Oil School of Racing is the official school of the Road to Indy. We can also qualify you for your SCCA license. Get started today by visiting us at www.lucasraceschool.com.
With over 40 years in business, High Tide Boat Lifts is committed to elevating your craft. Whether you own a personal watercraft or a large yacht, we can design and create the perfect lift for your needs. At High Tide Boat Lifts, we understand that you've worked hard to get to a successful place in life. We'll ensure you have a hassle-free experience, maximizing the time you spend on your boat with family and friends, and supporting your dreams out on the open water.
As your uncle, I want you to know that on the road of life, there will be rough spots, and they will chew up your tires. I recently took a road trip to Greensville to attend a chili cook-off. Rough roads all the way down. I drove there on these Cooper Discoverer and Duramax tires. You know, they're made with the durability of off-road tires, but for on-road driving. Without them, we might never know the winning bean-to-meat ratio of a good chili. And those are the things in life, my friend, worth driving towards. So go with the Coopers. Cooper! I'm hungry now.
For episode 2 of Talking Tech with Thompson, we're going to go find the Road to Indy's engine builder, Steve Knapp of Elite Racing Engines, who builds the USF2000 and the Indy Pro engines. I've heard some updates in the new Indy Pro engine for 2021. Let's go get the first word from him. So Steve, on the dyno, when you put this engine compared to the 2020, what differences can you see?
Well, actually, within lowering the RPM band, if you overlaid the car between 55 and 8, it's virtually the same as what it was before. It has a lot more power below that. Our whole intent on lowering the rev band was obviously reliability. The camshafts have changed the tone of the engine, and it's made it much more pleasant for all of us on pit lane and the spectators too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure IndyCar appreciates that a lot on these race weekends. We, in Indy Pro, we're known for bursting people's eardrums at most of the races, so that is good news. A lot of people don't know Elite Engines behind the scenes. How many engines do you build per year for the Road to Indy series between both USF2000 and Indy Pro?
Well, between the two series, we have probably 60 engines out there altogether. We'll do 45 builds a year, something like that for the Road to Indy. The Road to Indy has always been my heart. I love the Speedway. I love the Indy 500. I've always been an open wheel nut. So this is like my passion, you know. When I leave the racetrack, that's when I go to work. And you can ask my wife, she doesn't see me much until we get back to the next race. But I'm not complaining. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else, and I won't want to be anywhere else.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's great. Hopefully we gave some more insight on Elite Racing Engines for the 2021 Road to Indy fans.
Time to get things underway here at Mid-Ohio. We have 3 races for you in the Road to Indy, essentially a full run through our ladder program. What you're seeing here right now is essentially single A, double A, and triple A baseball, but in racing form. You're going to get all here today at Mid-Ohio. The Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship will fire things up first. Those drivers have just rolled out onto the grid right now, so let's have a look at the lineup as 28 drivers set to go racing here this morning in Ohio. Road number 14 starting on the outside, making his first weekend on a road course here at the Road to Indy. Nathan Bird in the number 20 for Legacy Autosport. Raced here on Friday, raced here Saturday. Last night over to Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis to be able to run a midget car. Back here today this morning to get back at it again. We're pleased to have Nathan Bird with us here this weekend. He'll start 28th. Alongside Nathan, another rookie driver making his first ever Road to Indy weekend. Chase Highland in the number 7 will start in the 27th position for Jay Howard Driver Development. On row number 13, 26th on the outside, last year's Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series champion Eli Navarro for D-Force Racing, the rookie in the number 1 starting 26th. And on the inside, another one of our rookies here this weekend for Turn 3 Motorsports, his first event for the Road to Indy, Christian Weir in the number 32 starting 25th. Moving now to row number 12, Kent Vaccaro for Miller Vinatieri Motorsports on the outside in the red number 16. Inside in the Joe Dueling Autosport number 63, Trey Burke, the rookie, starting 23rd. Row number 11, 22nd position on the grid on the outside. The number 42 for Michael Myers, the Indiana driver. 122.875 in qualifying, puts him in the outside of row 11. Inside, Evan Stammer out of Illinois in the number 3 for the Ignite Autosport with Cape Motorsports entry. Good run yesterday to 16th position for Evan Stammer. Moving now up into row number 10, Bejoy Garg on the outside for Jay Howard Driver Development in the number 6. And on the inside for Velocity Racing Development, it's Eric Evans out of Georgia in the number 29, the rookie, starting in 19th. Row number 9, one of our championship contenders, Josh Pearson out of Wilsonville, Oregon, to the number 24 for Pabst Racing. He's mired back in 18th right now. He'll start alongside the number 99 of Force Indy driver Miles Rowe, another one of the rookies, starting in 17th. Row 8 will have Christian Brooks, one of our championship challengers, a winner earlier this year at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Brooks out of Santa Clarita, California for Exclusive Autosport back in 16th. Keep an eye on the white and red number 44 as he tries to work his way back forward. Another race winner on that row as well in the 15th position inside of row 8, Prescott Campbell for D-Force Racing, winning earlier this year at Barber Motorsports Park, the number 11 starting in the 15th position. Row number 7 on the outside will be Dylan Christie in the number 34 for Turn 3, while on the inside, Euven Sunderworthy, another race winner as well, starting 13th for Pabst Racing in the 22. Row 6 will have Spike Kohlbecker, 3rd at Road America, the rookie for Ignite Autosport with Cape Motorsports, starting 12th rather. Josh Green on the inside to the 33 for Turn 3 Motorsports. Row 5 will have Matt Round-Garrido alongside Jace Park, while Billy Fraser, the exclusive Autosport driver, the number 91, starting 8th, with Thomas Nepvu, a winner in Road America, starting in the 7th position. Row number 3, Peter Vodanovic will be on the outside. These are the drivers who put fresh tires on yesterday. Vodanovic in the number 9 starting 6th, alongside his Jay Howard driver development teammate Jackson Lee starting in 5th. Row number 2 will have Simon Sykes on the outside. 2 podium finishes this weekend already for Simon in the Legacy Autosport number 19, while Nolan Siegel in the 10 will start 3rd. On the front row, the 2 drivers in the championship battle here right now as we get set to go. On the outside, it will be Michael D. Orlando for Cape Motorsports with the number 4. A win already here this weekend, but the driver on the pole with the point lead is Kiko Porto for D-Force Racing. Was able to win yesterday. Can he win again here today? Folks, we're ready to go. 28 drivers behind me. Time to fire things up. Drivers, start your engines!
These engines fire up here on the front straightaway as these drivers will follow the safety car around for a single pace lap. The start will be here in front of me. Good morning, Mid-Ohio. My name is John Phippen. I'm speaking to you from the 3rd floor of the Cooper Tire Press Tower. That's the right word. And as these cars follow around, you'll get a chance to meet the announcers you'll be hearing throughout the day around the racetrack. Rob Howden will be joining me here in the booth for the call as the safety car pulls away, and the field momentarily will be in the view of Rusty Bell. Hey, Rusty.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Mid-Ohio. I have to fight the crowd here. I'm 2/3 of the way down the back straightaway, and we have a great crowd still rolling in here. As you can hear the cars rolling off, I pick the cars up as they come underneath the Turn 1 bridge. They make that straight shot in the pro course up into the top of the keyhole and off camber. 180-degree corner, then down the long back straightaway. I'm just past the kink. In some races, this will be the start stand, and then they come under the heaviest braking and best passing area on the track as they make their way down into the S's.
And that's where they'll come into the view of Tom Michaels. Tom moving over into the S's this season. Tom, welcome and good morning.
Good morning, John, and good morning to everybody here at Mid-Ohio. It's just going to be another beautiful day here, and we are set up so that we can see the cars coming down off the long straightaway. You got to get on that heavy braking to get the cars wound down for turn 4. That's a right-hander. It brings them into the S's here. A little bit of a straight piece of road, and then a left-hander at turn 5. It comes up over a rise, and then kind of gets the car a little bit loose. You have to be careful of where you hit the accelerator as you go down the hill. Then you go downhill toward turn 6. That's a right-hander. And you sprint on up
New and improved
underneath the Honda bridge and then over toward turn 7. Beautiful day here, John. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Tom. Let's head over to the newest member of our announced crew. Say hello to Rich Grunenwald.
Good morning, everyone. Over here with the Turn 8 campground folks. The campground's all full, like Rusty said. There's a ton of folks here, and it's great to see everybody. They come up turn 7, up the hill underneath the bridge, and once they settle, they turn into turn 8 and then brake fairly hard for turn 9, which is a tricky blind turn, little bit downhill on the entry under braking, and then uphill on the exit, and then that takes them out to the left side of the track, down the hill into Thunder Valley, underneath the Quartz Bridge at turn 10, and up to 11, which takes us back to John.
Thanks so much, Rich. Rob Howden has joined me here in the booth, and we're just getting ready to punch this one off as Kiko Porto and Simon Sykes on the front row.
Yeah, this should be a pretty interesting start to this race, I believe, as the drivers are dialing things in. It's actually Kiko Porto and I believe Michael D. Orlando on the front row, and I think this is, I know, an incorrect. I was just down there, trust me.
I believe you.
They're lined up and ready to go. Simon Sykes, I believe, qualifying in the 4th spot alongside Nolan Siegel. But again, getting ready to fire things up here. The drivers coming out of the carousel. 3rd race of this triple header at Mid-Ohio. USF2000, the point leader, Kiko Porto, coming off a victory yesterday. He'll be the first to punch off. They'll come up here and hit. The way we go. Green, green, green. Again, Sykes right on the gearbox of D. Orlando. Going to push him all the way down into turn number 1. He'll get the spot. Sykes on the outside trying to hold that position away from Nolan Siegel as now they work through the opening corner here. Down the straightaway, up the hill a little bit to the keyhole, turn 2, downhill off camber. Look at this, 3, 4, almost 5 wide further back. There's incident right there. A couple drivers together, Dylan Christie and Miles Rowe together.
Miles Rowe has had a terrible weekend.
That'll be a full course yellow for sure. Everybody jostling for position coming down the straightaway. 3 wide further back, as you can see. We'll see the yellow here. Those drivers are locked together. Damage to both cars. Someone, I think, got into the back of Christie, but here's the battle here. Look at this. 3, 4 wide again, down into turn number 4. All this action. Drivers stacking it up into turn number 4 on the opening circuit. Have not yet seen the full course yellow. I think going to give him a chance to race a little bit here, potentially to get into position. Another driver out further back of the pack. That might be Spike Kohlbecker or Evan Stammer. It looks like it may have been one of the Ignite Autosport cars. Indeed, they're going to let these guys race, I think, for the first half of this lap before we go full course. Give them a chance to do a little bit of battling to settle into position. Indeed, now we'll go full course yellow. So an incident, we'll, I'm sure, get a replay of it if possible. But right now, it's just the bottom line is Dylan Christie, right side of the screen, and the turn 3 motorsports car off, and then really Miles Rowe with nowhere to go. You could see Christie was completely parallel to or perpendicular to the track.
Yeah, that's of the 3 races here, that's the second one that he's been taken out on the first lap.
All right, here's the replay right here. So look further back in the field. It's not up the front, more, maybe mid-pack to the back of the pack. You're going to see the white car of Dylan Christie. Contact from the rear, I believe, is what's going to say. Yeah, you can see him getting sent here. He was down to the inside of the racetrack. He gets sent around. Car rotates away from the apex to turn in, and he just turns right into the front of Miles Rowe. That was not Miles' fault at all.
Absolutely,
Number
he was
99.
just an innocent bystander. Yeah,
100%, John. And that's listen. He has had such that's 3 incidents. Remember, involved in the wreck in turn number 1. We had thought in turn 1 and that first race that he got into the back of Prescott Campbell. And talking to race control, a driver from the left actually came across and hit both Rowe and Prescott. So that issue not on Miles, and this one was not either. But a full course yellow early. Got a little hectic rolling down in there to turn number 2, and sideways they went. But we did race for almost over half the lap, essentially coming out of turn number 9, John. That allowed the drivers to kind of settle into position. The AMR IndyCar safety crew going to work. Those drivers mired in the gravel trap there. I want to say there's going to be some damage potentially to the left front for Dylan Christie. I'm not sure yet about Miles Rowe. I wonder if they can drag him back out and get him back rolling.
Not sure. Tom Michaels, you've got a car stalled there just at the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, that's the number 3 car. Evan Stammer is sitting there. The AMR safety crew is out. They're talking to him, and looks like they're going to have to put the jack under the rear of the car to try and get this thing. It's kind of half on, half off the racetrack. They're just at the beginning of turn number 5. So right now we'll have to see what the situation is with the car. It is pretty much mired there right now, not going anywhere.
Yeah, tough one there for Evan Stammer, who had a really good run yesterday. A rookie driver just getting into Formula Car racing, coming out of the Margay Ignite karting program, and he's one of the stars of that program, but then getting an opportunity to come racing here this year with Cape Motorsports. We got another look at the replay, folks. We're going to get a little closer for you on this. I'll try to zoom in a bit. You can see, again, look further back in the field to the left, to the left of the screen here, the left of the track. We're going to see Dylan Christie come across here. He's trying to come back across into the racing line. He's trying to make a pass on, I'm trying to figure out, that might have been Christian Brooks, actually, who's diving to the end. Brooks was able to get through on the inside, I believe. That's Christian to the left, and then he just kind of, it looks like he came across in potential contact, but didn't look like it was Brooks.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to, as you said, juke over a little bit to driver's left in order to set up for the turn, and I think he hadn't quite cleared Brooks's car, and that's what sent him into the spin.
We'll have a quick look at Christian Brooks when he comes back here as well to see if there's any kind of damage. They're rolling by us here on start-finish, so Kiko Porto leads, D'Orlando second, Sykes up to third, Matt Rangarito fourth, Vodanovic fifth. Let me try to pick up Christian Brooks. Yeah, I don't see any damage at all on the number 44. He's right behind Josh Green right now in the 14th position, so no damage that I see.
It's hard to tell from the camera. It could have been Stammer, similar livery. I don't know if maybe he was the one, and that's what knocked him out.
That's a definite possibility. Where did they start on the racetrack? Trying to pick up the start. Dylan Christie started 13th, which is right around Brooks. I think it might have been Brooks, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's like Stammer was further back. He started quite a ways back in the 21st position behind Christie. That's the danger when you go to the bottom of the racetrack like that. Because when you're in the bottom and you're trying to, you see it's all open coming into the corner. You're thinking, hey, maybe this will be the move I'll make to the inside. But there's no rubber down there. Nobody's been down there racing all weekend long, and no grip whatsoever. A lot of times a bit of dirt off track as well. Number 99 of Miles Rowe into pit lane now. They've got the front wing ready. Going to try to put a new wing on. They're looking at the right front of the car as well. Miles from New York, in the Force Indy number 99 machine.
Stamer's been in and out, so apparently they've pronounced his car okay.
Evan Stamer will be a lap back, I believe, though, as he just came in to put the one lap in. But again, Evan, we'll talk a little bit about him now that we have a chance here with the yellow. Again, tremendous young driver in karting, wins a ton of karting events, got an opportunity to be able to come and run here in the USF2000 program with the Ignite Autosport, a new initiative out of the Ignite camp, and impressive to see what he's been able to do. Slowly getting up to speed, exactly what I expected. Pretty much the same trajectory as I had told him earlier. This is when you're going to start getting a little more comfortable in the car. He literally had never driven a Formula car until the offseason. They put this program together for Ignite Autosport, decided to bring it with Cape Motorsports. He goes and does the Lucas Oil School of Racing, does their advanced school, does a couple of Winter Series races. We throw him into the Wolves, running here. And again, his teammate Spike Kohlbecker with about 100 starts in Canadian Formula Ford, British Formula 4, F3 or F4 rather, the Toyota Racing Series. So a little different on the experience level. Spike, of course, with third place at Road America, part of that Ignite Autosport team. But Evan's just been getting better throughout the season.
Yeah, Dylan Christie, the other car involved in that incident up at the keyhole, also just now making it into the pit lane. Crew looking over the front wing on that car, front suspension, to see if it's sound.
Yeah, I was wondering about damage to that left front, right, where the contact was, but looks like they're going to try to, maybe just a lightly tweaked. That team going at it, trying to give it a little pull.
Yeah, looks like maybe a little.
They might have to bring the attitude adjuster out.
Yeah,
the big bar.
Exactly. We're going green here.
Yeah, we're back at it, folks. As the driver's coming out of turn 13, Kiko Porto. We'll see the green from our Road to Indy flagman, Aaron Likens. And again, some hardcore racing deeper in the pack. Good opportunity to potentially make a move. Good jump there. I think I want to say 10th or 11th on back. There's a fight side by side through turn number 1, but the driver's now streaming all up to turn 2. Big defensive move to the inside for Porto. D'Orlando thinking about the outside. And I'll tell you, Simon Sykes with 3 podiums in the last number of races. This guy is ready for a win for Legacy Autosport. He's going to try to get a better run. Just a little bit off of them yesterday, John, and on Friday. Maybe a 10th or 2. Just couldn't quite hang with the leaders, but did a great job to come home on the podium.
Nolan Siegel and Jace Denmark side by side going into turn number 1 as they dived right down to the pit wall to see if they could get through. Everybody made it.
Indeed, 3 straight podiums for Simon Sykes, and what a great run it's been for the Legacy Autosport crew as well. Look at this racing, 2x2 coming through turn 4, 5, now down to 6. A little harder to go 2x2 through 6, but they're going to make it work. A lot of action. Everybody diving in. Christian Brooks getting to the inside of Spike Kohlbecker as well. That may be for 12th. Another pass a little further back. That is, I believe, Siegel in Denmark. Siegel in the blue and white D-Force Racing entry. Denmark in the black and white car for Pabst Racing. Man, I'll tell you, elbows up. And Parker Thompson said it in the pre-show on Road to Indy TV, John. He said, one thing about race number 3, you don't have to roll the car back in the trailer because they've got 6 weeks to build it until we're back at the next event. So you may see some drivers putting their arms up, and it's Michael D'Orlando to the lead. D'Orlando has gone to P1, trying to see if he can't close up on the championship. Back by 28 points as they ran on the racetrack. They just changed the order, so right now it's 28 points. With him going to P1, down to 28 points, making up 4 points so far, but this race far from done. Side-by-side action a little further back as well, as I believe that's Peter Vodanovic getting into it. You got Siegel and Denmark side-by-side. Remember, Vodanovic, one of the drivers who came in, put fresh tires on yesterday to get a better qualifying lap to be able to move himself up the order. And he's going to try to see if he can't benefit or leverage this to try to get a top 10. Jackson Lee did the same thing. He started in the 4th spot. He's now running P10. With field set. There's contact there between Billy Fraser and Siegel. Siegel's gone around. Nolan Siegel around, and that was a little contact there from, I believe, Billy Fraser. You wonder whether or not Siegel obviously had the door open a little bit, and maybe Fraser putting himself down to the inside there, and indeed hearing that the car high-sided right now. So that could bring us out another full course caution with the contact there in turn number 5.
It was Siegel who spun, and he is continuing it.
Tom Michaels letting us know that he actually was able to get rolling, so he's back at it. We will not go full course. So Michael D'Orlando for Cape Motorsports. It's been a pretty solid little run here. He won the Lucas Oil the Lucas Oil Raceway Freedom 75 on the oval. Tremendous battle with Prescott Campbell there, able to get the victory. Then he gets a win here on Friday, trying to back it up with another win here on Sunday, looking to close down in the points. As we said, 28 markers back right now from Kiko Porto. But Michael D'Orlando, super racy right now, working his way forward.
Vojanovic, who finished 28th yesterday, up into 5th spot. He and Chase Denmark going side by side through turn 1 on that last lap.
Well, and that was it. Peter's been kind of at the tail of the field of the second, the final quarter of the field, leveraging those fresh tires yesterday to try to improve his qualifying position. With just one qualifying session, the first race set by that qualifying session, the second race set by your second fastest lap or your best lap in race 1, and race 3 set by your second fastest lap or your best race lap in race number 2. And that's what both Jackson Lee and Peter Vojanovic did. They came in late in the race yesterday. Fuel load was low, put on fresh tires to get a jump up, get a better lap time to start better. And it definitely worked out for them. They started 4th and 7th, respectively. Being told a car off in turn 4. Tom Michaels, do you have an eye on it?
Yes, number 63. That's the car of Trey Burke. And it looks like mired in the kitty litter. We are likely to have another full course yellow coming up here.
So turn 4, Trey Burke in the Joe Doodling Autosport, number 63, off the racetrack. Nolan Siegel coming into pit lane, I believe, as well. And indeed, the driver is off. We've seen that happen many times, overcooking the corner, getting off into the grass, and you're done, and we will indeed go full course caution. Here comes the number 11 into pit lane. That's Prescott Campbell. It indeed wasn't Siegel. It was Prescott Campbell. And this is going to actually give Nolan Siegel an opportunity because he's still on the racetrack. He's going to get that full course yellow. So that's going to bring him back to the tail of the field. Good for Siegel, but not good for Prescott Campbell. Lost the front wing. They'll bring him in. And again, the driver off, Trey Burke in the number 63. Trey, one of the interesting stories in the program this year, a veteran of junior sprint cars, mini sprints, 360, 410 sprint cars running on the dirt. Decided he wanted to try his hand at the road to Indy, and he has been learning throughout the entire season. It's been a tough road for him for sure, trying to get a handle on running the road courses here in an open-wheel formula car. Now has Sage Karam, 2010 USF2000 champion, of course, multi-time Indy 500 starter, coaching him as well. He's been spending some time in the Symmetric Driver Performance Lab sim. We're actually going to get a look at this, folks. Here's the replay of the incident involving Trey Burke as he comes in just a little bit hot. Yeah, the bottom line is just too hot into the corner, not able to get the car woed up and not able to get the car turned. Tires can only do so much. When you're on that brake, you're holding that brake. You've got to release the brake for the tires to work. And obviously at that point was so deep and he just locked it up all the way into the tires.
Yep.
Right into the gravel, rather.
He was kind of running by himself, really didn't have a good reference, I'm sure, and was just, pedaling hard, trying to make up some ground, and he left his braking too late.
So he's into the gravel. We have a full course yellow. Shouldn't take too long, I don't think, for the AMR safety crew to get him pulled out of there, and we'll be able to go back to green. Let's press the reset button for you. Michael D'Orlando going by Kiko Porto early after that restart and pulled out to a pretty nice little advantage early on, while Porto still had Simon Sykes just about a length behind him. So Porto runs second, Sykes in third. Matt Round Garrido, another strong run for Matt. The Englishman in the 92 for Exclusive Autosport, top 5 yesterday, running P4 here today with Chase Denmark right behind him, the impressive rookie. Peter Vojanovic trying to leverage that qualifying maneuver to get himself up front. Started 7th, now runs in 6th position. Thomas Nepfu, winner from Road America, now in 7th. Billy Fraser 8th, Reuven Sunder-Murthy 9th, and Spike Kohlbecker rounding out the top 10. Josh Green runs 11th. Christian Brooks, who started back in 16th, has made up 5 spots. He goes to 4 spots. He goes to 12th. Jackson Lee 13th. Michael Myers 14th. Myers started back in 22nd, so an 8-position improvement for Michael Myers in the Michael Myers Racing number 42, the heavy right foot coffee sponsored machine. That is 14th. Josh Pearson 15th. Eric Evans in 16th spot. Eric started 20th, so he's up 4 positions. Bajoy Garg in 17th. It is Christian Weir in 18th, Eli Navarro in 19th, Kent Vaccaro 20th, Chase Highland 21st, and then we've got Nathan Bird, Nolan Siegel, and Prescott Campbell. Evan Stammer a lap back, Burke in the gravel trap, Christie and Rowe both back. I know that Christie's back on track. Not sure whether or not Miles Rowe was able to get back on track. He's only got one lap in the book, so they may have parked the number 99. But let's take a little time here very quickly to talk about Nathan Bird. Made his debut in the Road to Indy at the Freedom 75 at Lucas Oil Raceway. Does a lot of oval racing, but has been running in the Lucas Oil Formula Car Series and different Formula cars, getting a feel for it. Ran an F1000 car. Raced here Friday at USF2000. Raced here yesterday, and then booked it over to Lucas Oil Raceway to run in a midget car after the SRX race and back here again.
Awesome.
We got guys, same thing with Ernie Francis Jr. yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
So you saw him here last week, and of course running Trans Am, running FRA. How impressive was it for what he was able to do winning yesterday at the SRX program? That was awesome.
Billy Frazier is going to be penalized for avoidable contact and move to the back of the line.
That was the contact with Nolan Siegel in turn number 5. So tough one for Billy Frazier. We'll have to watch him coming from the tail here. Lots of time still for Billy, who's had a really good weekend. Two runs in the top 10, 4th and 6th for the young Kiwi. But that contact, again, into the back of Siegel, not surprising that they're going to drop him to the tail of the field. But there's a lot of confidence in young Fraser here now. He's had a pretty solid start to the season as a rookie coming in from the Toyota Racing Series. We know his family listening and watching the broadcast back home in New Zealand. Good friends, I believe, and family watching in Dubai as well. But Billy's done a great job so far, and we'll see how far he can get forward here. He's, again, a top 10 running car this weekend. They've changing, it looks like, the right front tire for number 63.
I wonder if that was the problem. Maybe he had a tire going down.
I have a feeling it might have been a lockup.
Yeah,
I'm thinking he might have flat spotted
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's just Trey Burke pushing as hard as he possibly can. This is one of those efforts where you're just learning and learning all the time. And it's a tough place to learn, man. This field is so unbelievably competitive. So Billy Fraser, 24th position. We'll see where he's able to get back to in the next 10 laps. Only 8 laps down, 12 more to go. If indeed we're able to go green next time by, which I expect we will, we'll have 11 laps remaining. Indeed, ready to go green next time by. And we got, as I said at the start, we have a full lineup of Road to Indy action for you. We'll get right out of this race into Tatis Victory Lane. We'll pass out some awards. We'll go right into driver introductions for Indy Pro 2000. And then the same goes. We'll turn around and go right into Indy Lights as well. So 3 great races for you to start the day. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning. Just about 8:30 here trackside. Gorgeous day coming in here, John. This is it's going to be a warm one.
Yep.
But what a fantastic July 4th. Lots of racing for these fans.
Exactly. We had a great fireworks display last night and a movie night for the fans staying overnight. It was great. And just waiting now for the main event coming up just past the noon hour as the NTT IndyCar Series strapping them up for a great 200-miler here at Mid-Ohio, but it looks like we're about ready to get a restart as Michael D'Orlando bringing these USF2000 drivers to the line.
And he'll punch off coming out of turn number 13 to get that jump on Kiko Porto. We are back to green flag racing. 9 laps down, 11 to go in the Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship, the final run of the triple header this weekend here at Mid-Ohio. Championship battle between Kiko Porto and Michael D'Orlando, getting closer and closer as D'Orlando inching his way forward. He will lead back into turn number 2. Everyone else stacking it up. See that fight a little bit further back between the white and the black car. That is Kolbecker, I believe. No, that's Nepvu and Sundaramurthy. Good recovery here for Yuvan Sundaramurthy. Started in 10th, now running in the 8th spot. Currently in the 3rd spot in points, 69 points back. Yuvan's going to need a pretty strong run when we get to New Jersey Motorsports Park in August. Look at this, folks. 3-4 wide coming down into 4. We got some aggressive racing there. That is Christian Brooks to the inside trying to get by Josh Green. Brooks around the outside. He's going to get Green and Kolbecker down to turn 6. What a run for Christian Brooks. Both cars, 4, 5, and 6. Brooks is going to go to P9. I knew that was happening. He was not going to be happy starting as far back as he is, seeing the championship kind of get away from him. He was going to send it here today, and he is on the move right now. Christian Brooks in the 44 will now look at Sundaramurthy and Nepvu as the next victims on his run up through the field. We'll keep an eye as well on Billy Fraser. He's got a couple spots already, able to get by both Dylan Christie and Nathan Bird. So cross halfway flags this time by. 10 down, 10 to go.
Simon Sykes has gotten around Kiko Porto as well to take over second spot.
And look at the championship implications. That's a four-point swing as well. D'Orlando now just 23 points back as they run on the racetrack. Good job for Simon Sykes. Could he get his 4th straight podium? He'd be the only driver to have done that in the entire field. Porto and D'Orlando looking for their 3rd straight podiums, but here is a potential 4th straight podium for the Legacy Autosport driver. What a run for Simon Sykes.
Yeah, getting hot at the second half of the season here. It's sadly probably a little bit too late for him to be a championship contender. He's back at 13th, but certainly bodes well for next season.
Well, I think the one thing for Simon Sykes is he's trying to make a name for himself in here. He's the guy, a guy that's done a lot of SCCA racing, won a lot of races, won the championship in the F1600 Championship Series, was part of Team USA. As another driver's off, we got more damage. That is right rear damage to that car. Tom Michaels, can you pick it up?
Yeah, it's right in front of us. That is the 11 car. That's Prescott Campbell, and there is right rear damage. That car just kind of flopping the right rear wheel sitting there, so I think we're going to have another full course yellow coming up here.
Yeah, we are. Already out, guys. Yeah, full course yellow again. More contact. That was further back. That was running around the 20, 21, 22 position on the grid. And contact back there. I'm sure that the IMS Productions crew will be able to give us a replay. Hopefully we'll be able to get a replay, but the bottom line is an incident further back in the field. Prescott Campbell. You got to figure it's contact, somebody driving to the inside. Here they are here coming through the corner. Let's look further back in the field, try to find that. Yeah, there's a move to the bottom of the racetrack. Someone going deep on the inside. Contact made. No, there you can see the entire right rear getting shuffled over. It looks like he was battling, I think, with one of the J. Howard driver development cars.
Chase Highland would have been right around that area, so.
Indeed, that could have been Chase Highland. I think you're probably right, Chase Highland. And that was Chase just getting too deep into the corner, not getting able to whoa it up, not getting able to rotate and get the turn. And that his left front just got, the minute it gets in front like that and you roll over top, big damage again to the right rear of Prescott Campbell. This is not something that normally happens in USF2000. This is, I think, our 3rd yellow already, or 4th or 5th yellow. This is crazy.
5th, yeah.
5th yellow already. No, 3 yellow periods.
Yeah.
But we got 5 laps, 3 yellow periods, so 3 yellows. A lot of times we go green to checker, but apparently the driver's getting a little aggressive here in the final race of the weekend.
Like you said, they don't have to repair the car.
That's it, man.
Throw caution to the wind.
We don't need to be back tomorrow. But I'll tell you, every one of these mechanics does not want to have to get that thing up on the winch to get it back into the trailer. So Prescott Campbell's day going in the wrong direction for sure. The driver who got such a promising start to the season, second in the opening round at Barber, was able to get the win, followed it up with a second-place finish. A tremendous battle with Michael D'Orlando at Lucas Oil Raceway in the Freedom 75. They went at it hammer and tong. And in fact, at one point late in the race, we're so close together, Prescott's right front jumped up in front of Michael's left rear as they were coming out of turn 2. They were locked. Luckily, they were able to separate, burning a hole, actually, in the under tray of D'Orlando's car. It was an amazing race. If you haven't seen it yet, folks, go online to our Road to Indy TV YouTube channel. You can see the Freedom 75. It was a really great race. And green to checker. Both of those races on the oval for Indy Pro as well, going green to checker. Not so lucky here today, as Prescott Campbell, as we said, falling down the field. Tough one yesterday, 13th. He has had a really rough string since that second-place finish. 12th and 24th at Road America, 27th, 13th, and now 24th here. And that has pushed him down to 10th place in the championship, 143 points back. So here's your top 10. D'Orlando with the lead. As John had mentioned, Simon Sykes able to get by Kiko Porto. Matt Rangarito still holding station in 4th. Jace Denmark 5th. Peter Vodanovic in 6th spot. Yuvan Sundaramurthy in 7th. Christian Brooks in 8th. A great move is able to get both Kohlbecker and Green. Brooks able to get by Thomas Nepvu as well. So move Brooks to 8th, Nepvu in 9th, and Kohlbecker in 10th. Fraser back up to 20th spot already. So look for Billy Fraser to try to get a couple more positions. Almost clearing the incident. They've got the car of Campbell up on the tow truck already. We'll take him over to a safe spot. We could probably go green potentially next time by. We'll see how it plays out.
I would think so.
Yeah. So that would be 13 laps down, 7 to go. Yeah, these drivers all battling like they're realizing the season's kind of coming to an end. Only 2 more races after this. A total of 5 races, actually, over the 2 events. New Jersey Motorsports Park, and then back here again. The first weekend of October, we're here to cap off our season, the season finale at Mid-Ohio.
So 5 more rounds remaining.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
In the 2021 season. Press the reset button, off-season testing, and away we go.
Yep.
And we'll see which drivers graduate up to Indy Pro 2000. We'll see, of course, many of the rookies stay around, say, you know what, I want that second year. Give myself the opportunity to try to go to the championship. Because if you look right now, if you look at this championship battle, top 6 drivers are all returning drivers. Kiko Porto's second year. D'Orlando his second year. Sundar Murthy his third year. Second year for Pearson. Second year for Brooks. Second year for Josh Green. It's the experience, John, in this particular level of this series. In fact, usually in all 3 levels, that first year in a car, you're just getting to learn all the characteristics of the car, the tracks, how the tracks handle that car.
Yep.
So we always see those second-year drivers step up. But then our leading rookies right now, Spike Kohlbecker, Thomas Nepfu, and Jace Denmark in 7th, 8th, and 9th in points. Rookie of the Year is going to be a battle through these next 5 races.
Yeah, they're only separated by a handful of points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's up for grabs for sure.
Yeah, Kohlbecker and Nepfu, who are essentially teammates at Cape Motorsports, separated by 1 point.
Right.
And that's the battle for Rookie of the Year.
Safety car in view with the lights out. I believe we're about ready to go.
Let's get back at it. 7 more laps remaining here. Hopefully we can take it all the way to the checkered flag, but I'll tell you, that's what D'Orlando wants as well. He does not want another restart, and he handled the first one extremely well. Got a good punch. Not quite as early on the throttle this time, and this could give Simon Sykes an opportunity. Indeed it does. Simon's going to get a good run through turn number 1.
So does Kiko Porto trying to get that spot back.
Matt Round-Garrido thinking about it as well from P4. Can he get himself up on the podium for Exclusive Autosport? Here's that rundown to turn number 2 now. Crucial move up into the keyhole. And D'Orlando able to hold him off still. There's a move around the outside for, I believe, Dylan Christie trying to get himself back up there. Oh, that might have been actually Christian Weir in the number 32. Yeah, Weir to the outside of Bajoy Guard trying to make a pass. So aggressive Weir here in his debut weekend in USF2000. Oh, we got some big defending coming down. That's Kiko Porto trying to hold off Matt Round-Garrido. He went down to the inside of turn 4. And Round-Garrido's going to get through, or does he get it done down into turn 6? He'll have to run the outside of turn 6 coming down the hill. And I believe he's through.
Yeah.
Book it. Matt Round-Garrido to P3, moving Kiko Porto back to 4th, and that's going to change the points even more.
Yeah, Porto's lost 2 positions in as many laps. I wonder if he's got a problem with that car.
Big move for Billy Fraser to the inside of Christian Weir there, I believe, to make another spot up. You saw that coming between turn 8 and 9. So Fraser mounted with the confidence of these 2 top 10 finishes, charging his way back forward. Leaders onto the front straightaway again. Coming through, there's the carousel, then 12 and 13. Everybody in single file order, battling their way forward once again. D'Orlando's lead just 0.4 of a second. Simon Sykes not able to challenge off that restart. Always a good opportunity to restart down into turn 4, but not able to take advantage of that. You can see Sykes, though, with a bit of breathing room behind him. Matt Round-Garrido now, who runs in 3rd. I'll tell you, Kiko Porto's got to watch out for Jace Denmark and Juven Sundar Murthy now. Christian Brooks going to go to work here as well on Peter Vodanovich. Watch for a pass here coming down the straightaway. There they are right in front of you on the screen. Further back, there's some racing
3 wide.
Yeah, Lee, Myers, and Evans.
Porto running defensively again, trying to keep Chase Denmark behind him.
Christian Brooks to the inside. Book it. He goes to P7. Brooks able to get by Peter Vodanovich down into turn 7 as well. So move Vodanovich down to 8th. Brooks up to 7th. But a strong run for Christian Brooks. Started 16th. He's into 7th. A 9-position improvement. Indeed, I did see Miles Rowe, I believe. No, I thought it was Miles Rowe. No, he isn't indeed out. The only driver out of the race right now, Miles Rowe, after the incident up in turn number 2. Not his fault, which is a darn shame. Obviously, just getting caught up in the incident. Dylan Christie able to get back out a couple more laps in. Prescott Campbell now, I believe, out of the race as well.
5 laps to go this time by.
We saw the damage on Campbell. So let's have a look at some lap times here coming back around.
Porto's lost 2 more spots.
He has, wow, Porto dropping like a rock, and now he's in front of Christian Brooks. 16-point difference up top right now, John. That is huge. 32 points coming into the day. He's lost half of that already.
He's running about 2 seconds a lap slower than the cars around him, so clearly he's got a problem. He is not able to maintain the pace.
You got to think there's some kind of damage on that car for sure. No doubt about that. Tremendous run here right now for Michael Myers as well. I just want to point that out quickly while we have some time. Number 42, Michael Myers, started down in the 22nd position. He is up to 12th. 10 position improvement for the Indiana driver. What best run we've seen out of Michael Myers here in 2021. It's been a rough one for him, too. A couple of incidents early on this weekend, and to see him having a good run is solid. That's him there to the outside. That is he running with Josh Pearson right now. Pearson trying to get to the inside. I believe Myers able to hold him on the top of the hill. A whole bunch of wheel coming up through turn number 5.
Yep.
And D'Orlando's lead, we said, now stretching out to 0.6 of a second. Simon Sykes looking for his 4th straight podium finish for Legacy Autosport. Tremendous. Billy Fraser up another couple of spots. He's now by Bajoy Garg, so move Fraser to 17th. He's getting some more passing opportunities here. Billy, as I said, lots of confidence of a couple of top 10s and trying to work his way back up potentially to the top 15 here. Christian Brooks not able to capitalize on whatever issues happening with Kiko Porto.
Porto's back up on pace. He's his last lap at 23.7, so whatever it was, he got it fixed.
Indeed. You'll wonder if he maybe went off track or somewhere out in the marbles where it picked up some
dirt on the tires.
The dirt, yeah. A lot of drivers talking about that yesterday after the super trucks put so much dirt out onto the racetrack.
Yep. He had to dodge a few helmet pieces.
That too. Billy Fraser now working on Eric Evans in the number 29. We'll keep an eye on Billy Fraser working his way forward after the incident with he and Siegel. So Fraser trying to fight his way back potentially to the top 15. We'll have to look where Billy's in points. I think he's just outside the top 10 in points, but we'll give you a better look when we can. 11th in points. Yeah, so potentially jumping up into the top 10 depending on how things go here. But 11th in points for Billy Fraser trying to salvage a good result here. D'Orlando's lead now 0.8 of a second as he's been able to gap it up a little bit, trying to go for his 3rd win of the season. It would be the 3rd podium in a row as well for D'Orlando. Again, coming off the victory at Lucas Oil Raceway, the win on Friday here at Mid-Ohio. And that championship lead now down to just 17 points as D'Orlando fully capitalizing on the speed that he has here. We may see a fight for 3rd spot right now because Jace Denmark closing up big time. 3 laps to go, and Denmark closing up here. How much faster was he? Oh, wow. 0.6 of a second quicker than Matt Round-Garrido last time by. Jace Denmark, who comes in here 10th in points, or was 10th in points coming in, 1 podium at Lucas Oil Raceway, finishing 3rd there on the oval.
Round-Garrido matched his best finish since St. Pete. He had a 4th in the second round at St. Pete, and he finished 4th yesterday. So trying to hang on to that, move up 1 spot, and stay on the podium. But you're right, Chase Denmark looking really racy right now.
Let's see what happens here when it's all said and done. There's Denmark right there on the gearbox as they come through turn number 4 and back up to 5. Jace Denmark putting all the pressure here on Matt Round-Garrido.
Christian Brooks doing the same with Kiko Porto, trying to move up 1 more spot.
Indeed. Billy Fraser still going to work here on Eric Evans, was right on the gearbox as well. We'll try to pick that up again if we see it. But, again, Matt Round-Garrido looking to try to get the podium. Again, you talked about St. Petersburg, a pretty good run for him there, 2nd and 4th in those 2 races. Both top 5s had a pretty good run here as well. Matt Round-Garrido did yesterday with another 4th, his 3rd top 5 of the season. Trying to get a podium here, though, for Exclusive Autosport. Back on the front straightaway.
2 to go.
Being told we have a driver around a spin in Thunder Valley, likely coming down out of turn number 9. We'll see if that driver is able to continue.
Round-Garrido throwing a pretty big block coming down into turn number 1 as Chase Denmark all over him.
Being told the driver who spun in turn number 9 down in Thunder Valley able to continue. But, yeah, John detailing the battle right now for 3rd spot. Chase Denmark trying to find a way by. And it looks to me like Jace Denmark now has his hands full of his teammate, Yuvan Sundaramurthy, so not able to focus on trying to get by Round-Garrido. Now he's got side-by-side action. He's actually got Sundaramurthy coming forward. Yuvan trying to get himself back in the championship fight as well. He's ahead of Porto, so making up a couple of points as they run on the racetrack. Yuvan just 55 points back. And he is going at it hardcore with his teammate up over here to turn number 5, side-by-side. Augie Paps will be down there holding his breath on pit lane. His 2 drivers dicing it up with Kiko Porto and Christian Brooks there and potentially take some spots away. They'll see the white flag next time by, John. D'Orlando out by 1.2 seconds. A little wide on the exit there for Denmark, and I think Sundermurthy through. Porto as well, I believe. Yeah, Porto's through, and so is Christian Brooks. He's up on the inside coming into 11. Hold your breath over the hill. Yeah, indeed. Another spot for Christian Brooks as well. Who was it that went back? Was it Sundermurthy? No, it was Jace Denmark. He gets pushed back 3 spots on that lap from 4th back to 7th. So moves Sundermurthy to 4th, Porto up to 5th, Brooks to 6th, and that brings Sundermurthy to within 55 points. So kind of limiting the bleeding here a little bit. That's still almost 2 full races of points, but you never know what can happen. You got to get every point you can, and Sundermurthy up on the wheel.
White flag is in the air, last lap.
And Juven 10th on Friday, 14th yesterday. This is more what we expect from Juven here in his 3rd year. A tremendous run for him. But as you said, final lap on the racetrack for USF2000. Michael D'Orlando holding a 1.3 second lead over Simon Sykes.
Nepvo, Kohlbecker, and Pearson also running in close formation in the battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Final lap here. The drivers circulate and work their way through turns 5 and now 6 down the bottom of the hill. Michael D'Orlando looking to grab what would be his 3rd race win of the year, winning at Lucas Oil Raceway, winning here on Friday, and will close the points to 19 markers. Up through Thunder Valley into turn number 11. Sykes still pushing on him, but Michael D'Orlando, all he has to do is navigate the last couple of corners. What a great weekend it's been. 1st, 2nd, and make it another 1st for Michael D'Orlando from Cape Motorsports. He wins race number 3 here at Mid-Ohio in the Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship. 4th straight podium for Simon Sykes in 2nd. What a drive for the Georgia driver. Impressive right now for Sykes. Matt Round-Garrido on the podium for Exclusive Autosport in 3rd. Juven Sundermurthy in 4th spot. Kiko Porto, your point leader, in 5th. Tough one for him after 1st and 2nd. The other races, but still with a lead of 19 points heading to New Jersey at the end of August. Christian Brooks now 77 points back, but I'll tell you, recovery for Christian. Started in 16th. He ends up in 6th. 10 position improvement for Christian Brooks. Jace Denmark in 7th. Peter Vodanovic in 8th position. 9th is Thomas Nepfu. In 10th is Spike Kohlbecker. And here, I want to point out a couple of runs. Michael Myers into 12th position. That's a family-run team. It's Michael and his dad and a couple of their crew members. They rolled in here in a 24-foot trailer, pulled by the dually, and what an amazing run for Michael. Started all the way back in 22nd, able to get up 10 spots just like Christian Brooks, so he ends up going to 12th position for Michael Myers. What a great run. Billy Fraser, who had that incident, able to claw his way back up to 15th position.
Yeah, after falling all the way to the back. That's
indeed.
That's a good recovery.
Yeah, solid recovery for Billy Fraser to cap off what has been his best weekend, the Road to Indy program here this year. He'll probably just behind in the top 10, just outside maybe 11th or 12th. Michael D'Orlando with the win, folks. Simon Sykes ends up 2nd. Matt Round-Garrido 3rd. Juven Sundermurthy and Kiko Porto rounding out your top 5 as you see your unofficial results from race number 3. Christian Brooks, the recovery from 16th to 6th. Jace Denmark in 7th. Peter Vodanovic in 8th. Thomas Nepfu in 9th. And Spike Kohlbecker rounding out the top 10. I'll head down to Tatta's Victory Lane. John, I'll let you wrap up the remainder of the results.
Sounds great. Josh Pearson takes 11th place. Michael Myers came home in the 12th place. 13th goes to Jackson Lee. Mitch Evans in the 14th spot. Eric Evans, Billy Frazier, good recovery drive after heading to the back in 15th. Kent Vaccaro in the 16th spot. Eli Navarro in 17th. Bijoy Garg in 18th. Nolan Siegel and Christian Weir rounding out the top 20. As our winner, Michael D'Orlando, winning for the 2nd time this season, rolls it into victory lane. Steering wheel off. He'll jump out and celebrate for the cameras. Rob Howden making his way from the Cooper Tires press tower down to the victory circle. And there's the celebration we're looking for from Michael D'Orlando. Closes to within 19 points of Kiko Porto with his 2nd victory on the weekend. He and Simon Sykes celebrating, as does Matt Round-Garrido. As Round-Garrido taking only his 2nd podium on the season, his best finish since finishing in 2nd spot in the first round at St. Petersburg early in the season. We'll have a quick turnaround for our next race for the Indy Pro 2000 racers, as we were just a little bit behind schedule with this one, getting this one underway as we had a late change to the starting lineup for the USF2000 race. But hey, we got it all in, and we'll get the podium celebrations underway, and then we'll be gridding with pretty quick turnaround right into the Indy Pro 2000 finale for the weekend. Their race number 2. 12 drivers about to take the track for that one. Same situation after Indy Pro 2000. We'll go right into the driver lineup for the Indy Lights finale of the weekend. And that'll take us right up to opening ceremonies for the Honda Indy 200. Sounds like Rob Howden's down in Victory Lane getting ready to talk to our top 3 drivers.
Thank you, John. Indeed, down here in Titus Victory Lane, the first of 3 races on the road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. We have our racers here in USF 2000, and 28 of them going at it. Man, it was just hectic action. Number of yellow flags, but the racing was epic as well. Lots of great passing, lots of great overtakes. Coming home in the 3rd place today, folks, tremendous run, working his way back up here from Pabst Racing, Yuvan Sundaramurthy. 3rd spot. We'll bring that 3rd place trophy up here. We have a lot of great guests from Cooper Tires, part of the family here this weekend, so get a chance to come up here and meet one of the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. Hop up there on the podium with them. We'll get a photo. Hop up on the podium there with them. Yeah, hop up on the podium with them. Get a picture. There you go. Indy Pro 2000 drivers coming out onto the track. We'll go right here from the podium straight to the driver introductions. Finishing in 2nd, folks, Legacy Autosport is stepping things up right now in a big way. This is 4 straight podiums for this young driver to Georgia, folks. Put your hands together. 2nd place, Simon Sykes. Talk about momentum. Sykes, 4 straight podiums. We'll bring that trophy up for him as well. Legacy Autosport dialing things in here mid-season, looking good as we head to New Jersey Motorsports Park in August. And Simon getting a chance to show the talent that he has. We've seen it before, and this kid is on a roll right now. Only driver in the entire USF 2000 paddock with 4 straight podiums. He is the hottest driver on the racetrack right now. But the guy getting the victory here today, the point lead was 32 coming in. I think it's about 17 points now, cutting big time into that championship advantage. 2nd place in points, but P1 today for Cape Motorsports, Michael D'Orlando. Stay down here, Michael, with me. You know what I'm going to do? Give me a second. There we go. I love it. Hey, listen, your 2nd win of the season. Tell me how important that is, do you think, for you? I mean, of the weekend. You obviously won Lucas Oil Raceway as well. How important was this for you to get the win here and not let Kiko get another one?
Oh, it was super important. I know coming into this weekend, I was sitting back in 4th in the championship, and with yesterday and today with 2 wins, now with 17 points difference, I'm sitting P2, and I'm super excited. Oh, what a fantastic race.
Did you guys do anything else to the car to change it from yesterday, and how was the conditions? Obviously a lot warmer today than it was on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we did some minor changes here or there, but nothing special. Just went out and drove like almost perfect race, really.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Michael D'Orlando, folks, my winner today. Tremendous job. Let's get that trophy up here. And yes, he can somehow shoehorn himself into that car. He's one of the tallest guys in the paddock, but gets himself into that USF 2000 and has been able to hustle it around. This guy, we've watched him mature over the last couple of years, and he is really getting it. When the opportunity is there for him to go for the race win, he is not letting it up at all. A tremendous run for Michael D'Orlando. Like you said, almost a perfect race for him. Able to defend the challenges on a couple of restarts as well. 17 points back now in the championship battle. Yuvan Sundaramurthy still in 3rd, not that far back either. An opportunity for him still to fight for this championship. And, of course, the scholarship as well. Here come the champagne, folks. They don't have to wear these suits again until New Jersey in August, so they'll go to the dry cleaners. The champagne flying, the sparkling cider, actually, for the drivers here in USF 2000. They're dicing them down. One more time, folks, a round of applause for the podium here today. Yuvan Sundaramurthy in 3rd. 4 straight podiums for Simon Sykes in 2nd. And Michael D'Orlando, the winner in USF 2000.
At TopCon, we know a thing or two about a smooth surface. Roads and highways, piece of cake. Airports? Let's just say it'll be the smoothest landing you've ever had. But what about when you want to go fast? Real fast? No. Faster. We've helped cars go faster than they've ever gone before. Broken a few lap records along the way. Want the best paving performance? Go to the source. Topcon, always one step ahead.
Hey, your Uncle Cooper here. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Goldie, my niece, your cousin, and Goldie didn't know which tires were right for her. The first ones were too much tire, and then the next ones were not enough tire. Anyway, long story short, Goldie found the Coopers, and they were just right. What a happy, practical ending. Go to sleep. I love you.
Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
Karting and motorsport enthusiasts, Lucas Oil School of Racing is America's #1 Formula Car race school. Enjoy modern paddle shifters, pit speed limiter, and onboard video along with integrated data systems. Get started today with our 2-day basic or advanced course. Lucas Oil School of Racing is the official school of the Road to Indy. We can also qualify you for your SCCA license. Get started today by visiting us at www.lucasraceschool.com.
Championship so close you can taste it. Oliver Askew has won the Freedom 100. Side by side. And your new champion, Christian Rasmussen.
Attention on the grid. Drivers, start your engines.
Road to Indy drivers, start your engines.
My apologies to our guest from Cooper Tires who was supposed to give the command. There was some confusion on my part, and I apologize as we heard it twice as the Cooper Tires guest giving the command to start engines. Rob Howden finishing up in Tatis Victory Lane, sprinting back up here into the tower. These back-to-back races, Rob, are, shall we say, difficult.
They definitely keep us busy, John. Back and forth and back and forth. We got the podium done, straight on into the driver introductions. I appreciate that. Again, as John had said, a good field of drivers here, 12 in total in the Indy Pro 2000 category, getting ready to start what will be their second race of the weekend, the doubleheader for these drivers. And again, getting set to go. Hunter McElroy really looking for an opportunity to turn things around. It's been a rough season so far for Hunter. Hasn't really had the results I think he expected he was going to have coming into his second year in the series. So he, of course, will put his head down and get back at it here, starting from the pole position. A great opportunity for him. But when you're thinking about championship as well, Artem Petrov just 61 points behind Christian Rasmussen. He's going to be, I think, one of the most aggressive drivers, trying to see if he can't find his way, again, up to the top of the box, get those full points, try to claw back a bit. Because the thing about Rasmussen he's starting in third spot, but he doesn't need to win this race.
Yep.
If he gets into an incident and ends up getting taken out, that's not what you want. You don't want low points. Hey, he'll pull the. I always use the Scott Dixon reference, right? Be smart. Take the car that you have and get as many points as you possibly can. That's how Scott wins so many championships. He wins a ton of races, but when the car's not perfect, he still brings it back for massive points. And that's Christian Rasmussen with a 43-point lead right now over Braden Eves. That's over a full race distance. Full race points. He really can just take a third place points here. As long as he's in front of Braden Eves, is still a win.
Sure, absolutely right. So yeah, he can. I don't want to say go in cruise control mode, but he certainly doesn't have to take unnecessary risks. He can bide his time. We know he's got the pace. He should be able to find his way to the front if he so chooses. But hey, if he ends up finishing third, he's still in command of the championship moving forward to the final rounds of the season. Indeed, exactly that. But Rasmussen, of course, what a season it's been so far. 6 wins added on to the 12 victories that he had over 2 years in USF 2000. 3 wins in his rookie year, 9 wins last year. He has now 18 victories. Only now 10 victories behind Kyle Kirkwood in the all-time win list. Kirkwood, of course, adding another one yesterday. Very impressive young driver. So we'll see how it all shakes down. Well, we got to go racing, and they're working their way out of turn 11 to turn number 12 as we get set to go for a 25-lapper here for the drivers in the Indy Pro 2000 category. Those of you joining us, Indy lights will follow, so 3 races for you. The entire road to Indy shown for you here this morning. Drivers coming out of the front straightaway as we get set to go. McElrea punching off. Green. And we are racing. Artem Petrov gets a pretty good run, though. Trying to hold on. Petrov trying to hold into turn number 1, and he's going to try to hold off Rasmussen. That was Rasmussen's idea, was to potentially get to second starting on the inside of row 1, but I don't think Petrov's going to let that happen. He'll want to push him hard going into turn number 2. It's the lead for McElrea. And indeed, Petrov holding on to the spot. And in fact, there's a good battle. Kiffin Simpson trying to get around the outside of Christian Rasmussen. He's trying to get up into a podium spot, push Rasmussen back to 4th, and right at the moment, it looks like he was able to get that done.
He did it, John.
And there's a logjam behind him. Jacob Abel and Reese Gold right there as well.
And Jacob Abel is one of the hottest drivers on the circuit here right now. Oh, look at this big move to the inside. There's some aggressive running. And again, Gold to the outside. Christian Rasmussen getting pushed back into P5. No, he's going to hold on the outside of Reese Gold coming over to turn number 5 and 6. Abel tried to look to the inside of Reese Gold as well. Jacob on the throttle once again. He's able to slot in behind there now. So finally, drivers getting single file as they normally do, coming over Madness and into turn number 8, 9, and now down into Thunder Valley. Hunter McElrea, though, the leader here early on.
Yeah, and stretching it out just a bit over Petrov as they work their way through turn 11, back into the carousel turn for the first time. 25 laps, 5 laps longer than the race we just concluded. Go ahead.
I was going to Hunter McElrea coming off a decent start to the season. 6th in the opening round. He won the second race. 3rd in the first race at St. Petersburg. Then 4th. But then he had a 10th, 8th, 7th. Just not the results that he's been looking for. Comes in 5th place in points to the event here. 199 points back. So essentially, 90 points back. So essentially out of the championship fight. That's 3 full races almost. But for him, it's about getting some race wins, right? Let's see if we can't salvage this and show people what the speed I have. A former USF 2000 runner-up, many races there, and he finds himself pulling out to a pretty decent lead here.
Simpson up into 3rd. Rasmussen shuffled back into 4th spot. Reese Gold up to 5th. Jacob Abel 6th. Braden Eves rounding out the top 7.
What a battle right now. Reese Gold trying to find a way by Rasmussen around the outside. Book it. Reese Gold around the outside, and he has gone to P4. Move Rasmussen down to 5th. And the drivers coming in behind him now would be Jacob Abel, Braden Eves, and Manuel Suleiman. Those are the next drivers. Rasmussen going in the other direction. Abel trying to close up on him now. There's your leaders coming into Thunder Valley. And you can see Jacob Abel in the red machine closing up now here on Christian Rasmussen. Point lead still 39 markers as they run on track. And to be honest, Christian Rasmussen, all he really has to do is finish ahead of Braden Eves, and he still extends the championship because Reese Gold 56 points back, Petrov 58 points back, McElrea 76 points back.
As they started, he had a 43-point bulge. Now it's still down to 37 as Braden Eves coming across in the 8th spot. So 38-point bulge. It's still more than a full race worth of points for Christian Rasmussen.
And Rasmussen is a more mature driver than he was last year. Of course, understanding that to dial this program in to try to get to Indy Lights, you got to be smart, get all the points you possibly can. couple of big wins on the year. Is the winningest driver here in Indy Pro 2000 this year with 6 victories. Currently running in that 5th spot with Jacob Abel and the Abel Motorsports machine pushing hard. Jacob's had a pretty good run. He's worked his way up into 7th place in points after a number of podiums. 3 straight top 5s for Jacob Abel in the last 3 races, trying to see if he can't keep that streak alive. Currently running now in the 6th spot. He'll have to get by Rasmus if he wants to get another top 5. But we're not quite done. Long way to go just early into this one. We'll complete lap number 3 next time by. 25 laps, John. A long race for the drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. But again, we extend the race distance a little bit longer to get them more physically ready to go to Indy Lights, which is longer than, of course, once you get into the IndyCar. It's something you've never done before, a full stint of an IndyCar race.
Hunter Yaney, who started shotgun on the field, I think just got by Jack William Miller. He's up into 9th right now, so good run for the Velocity Racing Development driver.
Yeah, good to see Hunter getting out there and getting racy, like you said, working his way forward here. Yaney with James Rowe Jr. right behind him. Then you've got Wyatt Prokachik there as well.
Sorry, that was Rowe. I saw him pass. I thought it was Miller. Miller's just about a second and a half out in front of Hunter Yaney, so apologies.
Hunter McElroy lap time, best lap time of 1:20.0, but the fastest lap time we've seen so far is Artem Petrov at a 1:19.977, just about a couple of tenths quicker, or a couple of hundredths of a second rather quicker than McElroy. Simpson running pretty good here in P3. Kiffin Simpson looking to see if he can't get himself his 3rd podium of the year. Finished 3rd at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and of course at Road America, wrapping things up with a podium there as well. Here's a young driver with a lot of talent, but still needs to be molded. You know what I mean? He's a raw rookie in the program here, only halfway through the season now for him. Potential issue for Hunter Yaney, being told that potential loss of the front wing, so contact may be coming through there, that battle with Rowe and Prokachik. I didn't see it when he came across. Didn't seem like he had lost it. Maybe it was just precariously holding on after some contact. We'll have a look at Hunter Yaney when he comes back. And if indeed he's lost the front wing, we may see Hunter pulling off into pit lane here. Yeah, he's further back. In fact, he's followed all the way to the tail of the field and will work his way up into pit lane. So Hunter Yaney, who made some good passes, was able to get himself up a couple of spots. He'll head down pit lane to his team right here, Velocity Racing Development. They will install a new front wing for Hunter and get him back out onto the racetrack.
Jack William Miller got around Braden Eves, and that's going to open up the points battle once again up to 39 points as Eves drops back into 9th. That gives Rasmussen just a little more cushion. Not
sure what's going on with Braden Eves. I would have expected more here. The track that he's been statistically very good at. One here in USF2000, one here last year in Indy Pro 2000 as well. Just hasn't seemed to get a handle on it. And then you got his teammate Artem Petrov up there, P3. Artem's having a really good weekend so far. 2nd in race number 1 yesterday, running P2 again and trying to close himself up on Reese Gold in this championship fight. As they run on the racetrack, he's only 4 points back of Reese Gold for 3rd in the championship is Artem Petrov. And look at this battle here. This 1st, 2nd, and 3rd separated by just over a second, John. This is not like a runaway we've seen before. These guys are all running together here, 1, 2, 3, and Kiffin Simpson starting to get racy as he's closing up here on Artem Petrov.
It's those two teammates going after it. Coming out, not Petrov and Simpson. Simpson behind him, should we say, his teammate, the 55 of Reese Gold. Christian Rasmussen sort of stabilized now at 5th position, but Jacob Abel, who was closing right on the back of Rasmussen, dropping back just a little bit. I saw a big lockup for Jacob coming into the carousel a lap ago, so he's pushing maybe a little bit too hard. Needs to back it off and cool those tires down a little bit.
Most of the field kind of separating out as they do, getting a little spaced out in terms of maybe a second between each of the drivers. And that happens occasionally. Obviously, with the aero wash, we have the problem of getting in behind a car in a long sweeping corner where you lose the air off the front wing and just lose all that front grip. So the car wants to push, wants to have that understeer going into the corner. And that often lets you get back. So as soon as you're about the second back, you stop feeling those effects of the aero wash and the turbulent air on the car. It allows you to get that car to point forward, but you just can't get any closer sometimes. You got to kind of wait for them to make a mistake to close back up to make a move. And you can see kind of everybody separating out a little bit, except for Petrov and Simpson. Kiffin Simpson still pushing hard to stay with Artem Petrov. Tough start for Christian Rasmussen for sure. Started 3rd position, was aggressive on the start going through turn 1, trying to see if he could get by Artem Petrov to go to P2. That was the plan that he and I discussed yesterday when we chatted on IndyCar Radio, but hasn't gone that way. He has fallen to 5th position, but still, again, even a P5 spot is beneficial and solid for him, as he still holds a 40-point lead now over Braden Eves. All he had to do essentially was be in front of Eves, and he's going to stretch his point lead. That's the primary championship contender in Rasmussen, now with 40 points up on Eves as he works to try to get that scholarship. You think about the program now, John. An extra race over and above USF2000 for Indy Pro. Before we go to New Jersey Motorsports Park, these drivers go to the Oval at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Should be interesting to see who handles the Oval well. We saw Christian Rasmussen win at Lucas Oil Raceway, but Reese Gold was really good there as well, pressured him throughout the entire 90-lap race there on that 5/8 mile oval. Well, significantly faster at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and we're looking forward to seeing them there. Then we go to the race at New Jersey Motorsports Park and cap things off here at Mid-Ohio. So still a number of races to go after this one, a total of 6 in total for Indy Pro 2000. But Rasmussen with over a full points haul of points, really in a good spot in the championship.
Yeah, and again, as they run right now with the bonus point, Rasmussen stretches it out now to 40 over Braden Eves. Eves about a second and a half behind Jack William Miller. Again, we're still not even into the second half of this race, only 7 laps into it with 18 to go. So plenty of time for Braden Eves to work his way forward. And this is, the final race of the weekend for these drivers. It's all about tire management at this point. How much rubber have they got under them to get to the end of this second race?
And not surprising why I think we're seeing Kiffin Simpson and Reese Gold look good here in third and fourth. Remember, maybe they didn't have the overall speed, outright speed, to be able to win here, but we saw them in qualifying come in, just do a couple laps on those tires, essentially scuff a set, put a heat cycle into them. I wouldn't be surprised if those are the tires they're running here this afternoon, ones that when they essentially prepped for the race, giving those drivers an opportunity to come forward. And I'll tell you, Rasmussen's still a rookie, obviously, in the program. Braden Eves in his second year, as is Petrov and McElray and Suleiman. But you look at Rasmussen, look at Reese Gold, 16 years of age, in his first year here in Indy Pro 2000, sitting third spot in points, running fourth on the racetrack right now. If indeed he were to return next year to Indy Pro, that's a guy you got to say, championship contender, number one championship contender coming back, because this kid is obviously he's young, he's still learning, he's still getting better and better, and Reese Gold's a kid that we're going to see win some races, I believe, next year if he comes back to Indy Pro.
Yeah, third in the points right now. He's still looking for that first win, but he's been on the box, 6 times?
6 times.
So, yeah. I mean, he's been close, just no cigar.
Well, and even his worst finish was 13th with an incident at Barber. Everything else, even outside, if it's not a podium, 6th, 4th, 5th, 6th. He's always in the front half of the grid, other than that one incident at Barber Motorsports Park. So here's a kid, again, you go through a season, your first year, you get that baseline, and then at 16 years of age, he matures for another 6 months, 5-6 months from the end of the season to the start of the next season in spring training. And all of a sudden, he's a different driver when he gets here. He's already different than he was last year, and he's going to have all that confidence. Another off-season's worth of testing. Reese Gold will definitely be the championship contender for the scholarship in 2022. Right now, though, the primary contender to win that scholarship and move his way into the Indy Lights Series next year would be Christian Rasmussen, trying to follow in the footsteps of Kyle Kirkwood, who went back-to-back in USF2000 and Indy Pro. Oliver Askew didn't do it. Renus VK didn't do it. Obviously, Oliver won USF2000, but Renus came back and took away the Indy Pro 2000 championship from him. Oliver came back and ended up winning Indy Lights with Renus in second. So there's a precedent set for some of these drivers to find success here coming up through the road to Indy. And again, Kyle Kirkwood, though, this year looking to potentially be the first guy ever to win all 3 scholarships straight through and into the NTT IndyCar Series the following year. What a history-making event that would be.
Back to back.
Yeah.
That's and if you count his 2 championships in F4 US and Formula Regional Americas, that's 5 championships in a row.
So here's the interesting thing. He's not going to start on pole position today, right? He'll be on the off pole for Indy Lights. We'll just jump into Indy Lights a little bit while this is happening. Steve Whittick from TSOladder.com posted out yesterday on Twitter with an amazing stat. Kyle Kirkwood's never lost here. Mm-hmm. He has won 10 races over, you said, F4, F3, USF2000, Indy Pro, and now Indy Lights. All 10 races, 10 starts, 10 wins. That's ridiculous. I don't think anybody else would have that kind of a record here at Mid-Ohio. If he continues it today, he would be Mr. Mid-Ohio. We like to throw that name at a bunch of people. Yep. When it comes to the road to Indy, Kyle Kirkwood would be Mr. Mid-Ohio if he's able to get this done. And absolutely amazing.
No question.
So we have 9 laps down. 10 laps will go into the books when Hunter McElroy brings it back around here. And this would be a huge victory for Hunter McElroy. 1.1 seconds out right now. As I said before, they've had some highs. They've had a couple of lows. He just hasn't had the speed that he's wanted, that consistent speed we normally see out of Hunter McElroy. Won the final race of the season last year at St. Petersburg. Of course, that event, normally the kickoff event, getting moved to the finale last year, and is able to cap the season there with that win. And you can see, of course, all that pressure coming off, finally able to get that win. You know, he had been so good in Formula Ford back down in Australia and New Zealand, came up here and was a powerhouse at USF2000. First year for Pabst Racing last year in Indy Pro, and it took him a while to get a feel for the car and get where he needed to be. At the end of the season, of course, he ends up winning. You know, in his mind, it's like, man, I won the last race of the season. We're going to come out of the gate strong. I'm going to get it done here. He was actually able to get a 6th and then a win at Barber Motorsports Park, but then he really never got it going again. You know, he had another good run, 3rd place at St. Petersburg, but then 4th and 10th and 8th and 7th. And when you're a guy like McElroy, 7th and 8th is not where you want to finish. Any of these guys running for championships isn't thinking about a 7th or 8th place finish.
Exactly right. As we look down the order and see what battles may be brewing a little bit, on the last couple of laps, Christian Rasmussen has been a little quicker than Reese Gold in front of him. He's got about a half a second to make up, but looks like Rasmussen just set his best lap at a 1:18.5963, so maybe he's been saving a little something, and might have something to say about the top 3 here before this is all over.
McElroy across the line again. That nice, comfortable little gap. He's settling in good lap times. In fact, just on lap 10, reset the fast lap of the race, a 1:18.344. How about Jack William Miller? Second fastest lap of the race, 1:18.46. Miller currently in the 8th spot, 1.3 behind Manuel Suleiman, and very similar lap times for those drivers as they're trying to close up here on Jacob Abel. But really, if you look at that, 1:18.4, 1:18.4, 1:18.4 for Abel, Suleiman, and Miller, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and a 1:18.3 for McElroy. Really running pretty solid lap times, just a 10th off the leader.
Yeah, that's a really good job for Jack William Miller. Started 9th already, getting around Braden Eves, which is no small feat in its own, up into the 8th spot. And he's only about 2nd and 3/10 behind Manuel Suleiman, so 7th, certainly within his grasp before this one is all over. Christian Rasmussen continues with his lap times a little bit quicker. Jacob Abel on that last lap, about 2/10 quicker than Rasmussen in front of him. And so Jacob, who really piled the pressure on early in this race, looking like he might be in a position to put a little more pressure on as we have 14 laps to go, now 13 laps to go as we complete race lap number 12.
Yeah, Jacob Abel looking for his 4th consecutive top 5 finish. Really has turned things on here through the midway part of the program here, the schedule. 3rd at Road America, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and then 5th the next day, and then 3rd here on the podium yesterday. So a couple of podium finishes, too. That changes the driver's mindset, especially when you look around and think about the guys you're racing against. You know, Jacob's a guy that doesn't have one of those long karting careers where he started racing when he was 5 years old, kind of came in a little bit later in the program.
Right.
Single car team out there, doesn't have another driver to bounce data off of, but he's looking around at, racing against USF2000 champions like Rasmussen and Eves, race winners like Suleiman and Petrov, and McElroy. So it's such a deep field, and I like the commitment that Jacob Abel is putting into this program, not only on race weekends, but away from the track as well. This guy's at Pit Fit in Indianapolis. He's doing the work off the racetrack, getting himself into peak physical and mental condition. That's what it takes to have success on this level. You really have to commit 100%. If you don't go all in, it's not going to show when you get onto the racetrack.
And he's been a teammate of Kyle Kirkwood in Formula Regional Americas.
Yes.
And I think, Kyle has obviously imbued him with that sense of confidence, and also, Kyle is also a fitness fanatic, and I think it's a good indication to just, teach Jacob how to win, how to prepare yourself both mentally and physically to be a front runner.
Yeah,
so.
Good friends with Braden Eves as well. They do a lot of karting together, and again, Eves obviously the 2019 USF2000 champion. So when you have mentors like that, friends who can push you, they say you surround yourself with the people you want to be like, right? So to be able to hang with Braden Eves like he does, he's having I just love the focus of Jacob Abel right now, and the success we're seeing here over this midseason run has been great. P6 right now on the racetrack for Abel, about a 10th or a second behind Rasmussen now, and looking at lap times, he was actually about 3/10 off. Lost a bit there that last time for Abel, but settling in. He's got Manuel Suleiman behind him by a second and a half as well. best battle we're seeing right now, I think, is Christian Rasmussen closing up here on Reese Gold to potentially try to get himself back to P4. You can see that coming out of turn number 8 right now. Little wiggle there for Kiffin Simpson coming out of turn number 9. See that a lot. The rear just kind of taking off a little bit as you crest the rise of turn number 9. But indeed, Rasmussen in that Road to Indy Scholarship colors, number 1 machine, that distinct livery of the scholarship drivers closing up here on Reese Gold. These are the two drivers that battled for the race win at Lucas Oil Raceway in the Freedom 90. And yeah, big run here for Rasmussen coming out of turn number 1. Final drivers crossing the line. Let's see what we got here further back.
Gold got a good run through turn 1, but Rasmussen, I think, lost a little ground, and that's allowed Jacob Abel to close right up on the back. We've got a 3-way battle for 4th spot now.
And you can see a little wiggle there coming into the braking zone at turn number 2, trying to get the car pointed in the right direction for Rasmussen. Light tank slapper as he was able to control that. And a lot of drivers have talked about controlling the car going through turn number 2, the keyhole, the downhill off-camber corner. Yesterday at USF2000, drivers were all complaining the first 5 laps because of the stadium super trucks. The track was unbelievably dirty. Every corner, the rear end was really breaking loose. You almost lost it every time. Finally, the track got cleaned up and got settled in, but the first 5 laps, they said, was pretty precarious.
I can imagine, yeah. Especially offline, obviously. So
indeed. McElroy leading by 1.4 seconds now. What a big performance here for McElroy as we're going to put lap 15 in the books. We're past the halfway point, 10 to go, and he comes back around. And McElroy has not put a wheel wrong as of yet. Artem Petrov, another strong run to second place. This would be, I believe, as well, the 6th podium for – no, where's Artem Petrov? 1, 2, 3. It'd be the fifth podium for Petrov. No, 6th, indeed. I'm correct. He won at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, got the victory there. 2nd at Road America in the first race. 2nd at Mid-Ohio yesterday. Another P2 finish here would be good for Artem. And as you see, but the points as they run, closing him up to within 4 points of Reese Gold for 3rd. 56 points back, so still not out of it with 6 more races still to go. And to remember as well, that race at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway, the Oval, is 1.5 points.
Yeah.
45 points to win that one. So a little crucial to be able to get good success there.
Best battle is the one for 3rd, or 4th, should we say, with Reese Gold, Christian Rasmussen, and Jacob Abel all running within just over a second and a half of each other. About 3/4 of a second between Gold and Rasmussen, about a half a second to Abel as they crossed the line this last time. Wyatt Brkacek has been challenging James Rowe for the final spot in the top 10 most of the race as well, as he's been right on his gearbox, but just hasn't been able to find a way around.
McElroy still with fast lap of the race, and they keep coming down quicker and quicker and quicker as these fuel loads get lower. McElroy with a fast lap of 1:18.190, and although that may not seem like it's huge, if McElroy steals the fast lap away from Rasmussen, everybody else in the championship fight will be happy. You want to make sure that Rasmussen not getting as many points as possible. Eves now back by 39 points as they run on the racetrack. Rasmussen in 5th spot. Eves now in 9th position. As we said before, Jack William Miller able to slide by a number of laps ago. So the championship implications of a tough weekend here for Braden Eves. Again, 5th place yesterday, running in the 9th place today. Definitely not what he was hoping for on a track that he is, again, very, very good at. We expected him to come in here and battle for race wins.
Yeah, sure did. It's kind of a surprise that not only did he qualify as lowly as he did, but he hasn't been able to move forward quite as much as we would expect. In fact, he's actually lost a place from where he qualified. So Braden just not finding the formula here this weekend to run the car at the front.
And we look back at last year, right? Who were the race winners when we were here for a triple header? It was Braden Eves, Artem Petrov, and Stingray Robb. Those were the drivers able to get wins. Stingray, of course, moving up with the scholarship to Indy Lights. Eves just not finding success, but here's Artem Petrov again, a win last year and a couple of second-place finishes potentially in the bag here for today. So it's been a good one for Artem. I know he came in wanting to win because of the victory last year, but a couple of second-place finishes have really solidified where he is in the points as well, and he could eventually potentially battle Eves for that second spot. If not, Rasmussen, all it takes. And listen, Christian Rasmussen won the first 7 races of the season last year. Literally, he was the guy where this guy is going to storm to the championship. He had a 90-point lead or something crazy by the time we got to Indianapolis on Labor Day weekend with our, of course, altered COVID schedule. couple of DNFs essentially at Indianapolis, and then here as well went off on the opening corner of the opening lap from pole, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point lead.
Right.
So we can say, hey, you know what? 39 points back, Eves. Rasmussen's not done here, and he's been through it before, so he understands that this championship is not going to be done until he's actually locked it out, until he's clinched it, because all it takes is a one bad weekend when you're finishing at the tail of the field. Now, his only saving grace with 12 drivers in the field, even 12th is pretty good points. It's not like he's losing 30 points because there's a 28-car field or whatever it may be. It's an opportunity for him. Even dead last, he's going to be able to score a couple of points, but still, it's never over.
Yeah, and never over in this race either, because he has closed up right on the back once again of Reese Gold, 0.3 of a second at the line. So Rasmussen coming on strong here in the closing stages. Just set a 1:19.1945, second fastest lap of the race. Only 2-hour leader, Hunter McElroy. Jack William Miller, third quickest lap. Petrov fourth, Braden Eves fifth. So Jack William Miller doing a good job here this week.
Indeed, and great for Jack after that incident at Road America. This fight's really starting to pick up because Jacob Abel's getting in there as well. Abel is pretty quick because he's not that far back. There's 1, 2, and 3, but here's 4th, 5th, and 6th. You can see how close Rasmussen's getting, and Abel wanting to pull in there as well because obviously the 2 cars up front giving him even more aero in that draft, and then of course Rasmussen having some trouble in some of the corners with the aero wash, so he's doing the best he can. This is going to give Abel a chance to get in here. So with we're going to have 6 laps to go when we come back around. We may see ourselves as a 3-driver fight for 4th, 5th, and 6th. We're not done here yet at all.
Yeah, Rasmussen's car is working really well through the twisty parts of the course. He's able to get right on the gearbox of Reese Gold through the back part of the course. Gold's able to open it up just a little bit on the straightaways. Makes me wonder if he's got his car trimmed out maybe just a tad more. Either that or his tires going away.
That's it.
But nonetheless, Rasmussen able to stick right with him, and considering that aero wash, that's a pretty good run for Christian Rasmussen.
I want to look at lap times when they come back around here. Because Gold 1:18.3, Rasmussen 1:18.1. That's best. Where's the recent lap times right here? So an 18.9, 18.8, 18.8. So about a 1/10 of a second. I thought that Abel might have been a bit quicker because he looks like he's significantly closer. We also may see a battle between Jack William Miller and Manuel Suleiman as he is closed up a bit here. Lost a bit of ground that last lap, but you watched him close up to within 2 or 3 car lengths.
Yeah, Miller's having a good weekend here. This is certainly a good run for him. Finished 9th yesterday. Had a couple of 9ths at Road America and Lucas Oil Raceway. His best finish on the season, a 6th-place finish at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So this would be a good shot in the arm for Jack William Miller up into 8th and maybe 7th.
First year in the Indy Pro 2000 category after a couple of seasons in USF2000, single-car family-run team, the Miller Vinatieri Motorsport operation. They've got one driver in USF2000 as well, and Kent Vaccaro. And this is that fight we're seeing for 4th, 5th, and 6th. McElroy 1.1 seconds out on Petrov, although Artem, like he did yesterday, closing up in the late going, was able to get a 1/10 of a second again, so maybe we're not done with Artem Petrov.
Yeah, Abel's visibly a lot closer this time.
No kidding. You can see it visibly coming out of the corner as he is closed up. And again, last time by, Abel, a 18.8 to Rasmussen's 19 flat, gained 0.2 of a second. He's only 3.5 back, 3.5 tenths. So here comes the battle again from Christian Rasmussen. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Rasmussen back on Gold. Abel back on Rasmussen.
And I think Braden Eves might have heard us talking about him because he's picked up the pace, closed it down less than a second now to Jack William Miller, and on that last lap was a couple tenths quicker.
Well, and he's got Miller and Suleiman there. There's an opportunity for Eves to get up into the 7th spot. Think about him going to 7th and maybe able to get in by Rasmussen. That would limit the bleeding a little bit for Braden Eves. But Rasmussen looking to try to find a way by to P4. I don't think he has any intentions of going back to P6. Rasmussen back up on the wheel. Good battle here, and indeed, Braden Eves in the late going here starting to close up on Jack William Miller. Lead for McElroy down to 1.2 seconds now. Both drivers turning 1:18.4s last time by, McElroy and Petrov. 5 laps remaining.
Before when they come by
Indeed.
this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting down to the knockings, as they say. And the top 3 about equally spaced, McElroy, Petrov, and Simpson. I think that's pretty stable. But the best battle, there are 2 good battles, 2 3-way battles brewing here with the Gold, Rasmussen and Abel for 4th, 5th, and 6th, and Suleiman and Miller with Braden Eves right there for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And kind of right in the middle that we're not talking about all is the rookie Kiffin Simpson trying to come up here for his 3rd podium finish of the year. Really strong run here for Kiffin. 3rd at IMS, 3rd as well at Road America. Could be another 3rd here at Mid-Ohio. And that has all the makings for a really fun run next year if he comes back into the Indy Pro 2000. I believe he and Gold will be 2 drivers to battle it out for the championship. But young Kiffin, first year on the road to Indy, looking very strong. And running in 3rd spot, back to the podium potentially again. There's 4 laps remaining in this 25-lapper for Indy Pro 2000. And we'll be doing it again, John. We'll do Victory Lane, Tatis Victory Lane, wrap that up, kick it back up to you, driver introductions. You throw it back down to pit lane for another another group from Cooper Tires to give us the start command for Indy Lights, because we're going right back racing after this.
Back to back to back.
That's it.
I like it.
McElray, Petrov, Simpson, Gold, Rasmussen, top 5. Abel challenging from 6th. Little gap back to Suleiman and Miller in 7th and 8th. Eves 9th, Rowe 10th, Prokachik 11th, and Hunter Yaney, as we said, a lap back, having to change that wing after the incident as he had worked his way up, actually nicely into the 10th position.
Reese Gold getting a little breathing room now with only 3 laps remaining. He's opened that gap back up just a bit, and that's given Jacob Abel some new life as he's closing up on Rasmussen.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that going to give Abel a chance to focus forward here? We'll see. Abel getting up there to challenge Rasmussen would be big for Gold, because Reese then would be able to realize that Rasmussen's also worried about the guy behind him and not just fully focused on trying to get by him.
And while they're fighting each other, that's allowed Suleiman and Miller to close up on them. So
I was going to say, how much faster did Suleiman go? Yeah, he was 2/10 quicker than Rasmussen. So that is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. All separated, let's say 4th back to 9th of about 4 seconds, not even 4 seconds. Over the 22-lap distance. Green to checker so far. Looking good here to potentially get this one done cleanly. McElray, Petrov, 1-2. Hunter McElray in dire need of a strong run like this to once again show the talent that young driver has.
He's been just unflappable at the front. It really took the lead from the pole and has not looked back. Artem Petrov, same thing, in the rocking chair in that 2nd spot. The big movement has been from 3rd on back as Kiffin Simpson jumping up into that 3rd spot. And Reese Gold also, his teammate, getting around Christian Rasmussen in the early going, and it's been pretty stable since.
One of the things we love about Christian, rather about Hunter McElray, hometown, born in, I believe, in Los Angeles, California, residence in the Gold Coast of Australia, but I believe he races for New Zealand.
Right.
I always ask him that, and he just never really gives me a straight answer that or he tells me and I could never understand it. But it's awesome to have Hunter with us here, and he's been with us since 2019. Tremendous young man. Love having his character in the paddock, and again, having a great run here. To be able to get that win again. Again, I started the season off on a high note with a win in the opening weekend at Barber Motorsports Park, but kind of battled a little bit since then and has not been able to get the results I think that he was hoping that he would have. But this will be great for him to get back here. And then we go to New Jersey. I think we go to the Oval first at Worldwide Technology Raceway, then at New Jersey for that event. Triple header there, of course, at New Jersey Motorsports Park, back for a double header here to cap off the season in October.
White flag in the air.
Indeed, that's it. One more lap. Front 3 look pretty locked as they come back out of the final corner here. You see nobody really in the middle of an opportunity to battle for position. So they potentially will finish the way they are on the racetrack right now, barring any errors of the drivers on track. Hunter McElray looking to get himself closing up with the points, for especially Rasmussen back in P5. Kiffin Simpson now with the fast lap of the race. As long as it's not Rasmussen, it's good for everybody else in the field.
Right.
But McElray back by just 75 points right now, over 2 points, but you never know what could happen. All Rasmussen has to do is have one rough weekend, a couple incidents here and there, whatever it may be, and you can see a major swing in the championship points. So Christian's still in a good spot, 39 points ahead of Ease, but Hunter McElray trying to make sure his name remains in this championship discussion. Drivers working their way through here down into turn number 8 and 9. There he is, turn number 9, Hunter McElray for Pabst Racing in that black and white machine. Petrov closing a bit here on the final circuit, gets it down to 0.8 of a second, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Both he and Simpson most definitely closing. They'll work their way out of the carousel, and indeed with the drivers getting close behind, not enough, as out of the final corner, under the checker flag, Hand in the air, Hunter McElroy winning in the Indy Pro 2000 championship race here. The Cooper Tires Indy Pro 2000 Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio, race number 2. And Hunter McElroy from Pabst Racing, a well-deserved victory, 0.7 of a second at the line. Fastest lap goes to Kiffin Simpson, who finishes 3rd behind Artem Petrov. So it's McElroy, Petrov, and Simpson, your top 3. 3rd podium of the year for young Kiffin Simpson, just 16 years of age. Great run for him. His teammate Reese Gold finishing in 4th, able to get by Christian Rasmussen, the point leader, who won yesterday. Started on the inside of row 2, fell back to 5th. So although not a great day in Christian Rasmussen's mind and the expectations he sets for himself, still lots of points, and he leads with a 39-point gap.
Yeah, exactly as we talked about at the beginning with Hunter McElroy, your winner. Artem Petrov in 2nd, Kiffin Simpson in 3rd, Reese Gold in 4th. Rasmussen doing what he needs to do to win the championship. He's got a comfortable lead, and he can afford to give away a win or two. As long as he stays in the points, doesn't make any mistakes, he's going to be there.
Yeah, indeed. And again, numero uno, finishing in front of Braden Eves, the guy closest to him in the championship. There's the remainder of the results there. Jacob Abel in 6th, Manuel Suleiman in 7th spot, Jack William Miller 8th, Braden Eves 9th, Wyatt Prokachik in 10th, and rounding out the 12 drivers in the field, James Rowe and Hunter Yaney. A tough one for Braden Eves, a track he expected to be very strong at, ends up finishing in 9th place today. The gap now 39 points between he and Rasmussen in the championship, and the fight between Gold and Petrov for P3 very close. Petrov closing up to within 4 points of Reese Gold, and he's not out of the championship either. Drivers working their way through the carousel. I'll head down to Tatis Victory Lane. It's time to celebrate these drivers as well.
Rob, it's always great to have you with us here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Rob, of course, will be joining the IndyCar Radio Network for the Indy Lights race and the Honda Indy 200. So we'll say adieu to Rob Howden at the moment as he makes his way down to Tatis Victory Circle. And we'll be setting up for a rapid turnaround once again for the Indy Lights finale of the weekend. As, again, making up for some lost time. This race went lights to flag without any yellow flags, so we've got a little breathing room before the scheduled start of the Indy Lights race, unlike the turnaround between the last two, as our winners making their way into victory lane, the top 3 cars pulling into position. But we're Hunter McElroy climbing out of his winning number 18, I should say, sorry. As he climbs atop the cowling, gives a pat to the car, and then a big celebration for Hunter McElroy as he comes home atop the box for only the 2nd time this season, but his first win since all the way back in the 2nd round of the season at Barber Motorsports Park. Getting congratulations from his crew. Hunter McElroy in good shape. Hunter McElroy, your winner. Artem Petrov and Kiffin Simpson getting ready to talk with Rob Howden down in Tatis Victory Lane. We've got some track cleanup going on here on the front straightaway, just as the Indy Lights cars being pulled into their position here on the front straightaway. James Rowe and Hunter Yaney rounding out the 12-car field. Yaney with an unfortunate incident after picking up a couple spots, knocking the front wing off that car, so he finished a lap down to the lead of the race after that wing repair from his Velocity Motor Sports crew, Velocity Racing Development crew. And it sounds like Rob Howden's ready to roll. Let's head down to Victory Circle.
John, thank you so much again down here in Victory Lane, Tatis Victory Lane, for that matter, as we get set to go with our podium presentation for Indy Pro 2000. They capped off their doubleheader. Indy Lights cars getting rolled out onto the pit lane as we'll have that race up here momentarily. But we're going to jump into it and have some fun here with the drivers who were able to get to the podium today at Indy Pro 2000. Folks, finishing in third place today for Juncos Racing, just 16 years of age, Kiffin Simpson. A number of our guests from Cooper Tire is going to come and help us here, bring out the P3 trophy. Hop up on the podium with Kiffin there, get a picture. Again, great to have all our guests from Cooper Tire as part of the action here this particular weekend. Kiffin Simpson, tremendous run. Finishing in second place for the second straight day, fourth place in points, and really right there to try to take over P3. Finishing in second for Exclusive Autosport, Artem Petrov. We'll get Artem's second place trophy up here. And again, a strong run. Artem very solid all weekend long here at Mid-Ohio. Of course, a winner last year and gets himself into P4 in points, just 4 markers behind Reese Gold. But the driver getting back up to the top of the podium. He had a win earlier this year at Barber. Been a bit of a rough stretch to the mid part of the season, but again, showing the talent that he has. Great to have him here, a former runner-up in USF2000. But the dominant factor today in Indy Pro, the winner for Pabst Racing, Hunter McElray. Man, every winner here has been tall. Do you see that? Come back down here with me. You're way too tall for me. Listen, congratulations on a win. Let's just talk mentally how important it is for you. A bit of a rough stretch, as I said, but to be able to get back up here, put it on pole, then dominate like you did, it's got to, once again, give you the confidence you need moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't really sunk in, really. It's been a pretty wild year. But one thing is stayed certain is we never stop pushing. And I know we can do this, and I know we showed, you know, put it on pole, led every lap, and won. So it doesn't get much more dominant than that. I was just controlling the gap, and the car was on rails. So I have to thank the team, particularly Tony, Sorgi, and everyone for always believing in me. And, you know, we were pretty much at the lowest of lows. And, you know, that was literally a week ago, and we come back and win. So I think it shows what we do. And I also have to give a huge thanks to all the guys, Tom, Joe, everyone, you know, just freaking can't forget you either, dude. And everyone who has just kept believing, and yeah, we're here, so pretty pumped.
Congratulations, man. Get on top of the podium. You deserve it. Hunter McElray, folks. Let's bring that trophy in here as well. As I said, Hunter, of course, had a rough one at Road America a couple of weeks ago, kind of the home of Pabst Racing. They would like to have had a better result there, but to come back here and do what he did, like they said, there's no quit in the Pabst Racing team, and they were able to put things together, and they believe in their young driver as well, and he is one of the best here in the paddock, and great to see him back up on top of the podium. You can hear that, folks, the emotion. That is what motorsports is all about. There's a lot of highs, but there's a lot of lows as well, and the champions are the ones that can dig in and continue to work their way through and battle it all down. Guys, drop those trophies down, and for the weekend, cap it off. Let's get that champagne flying. McElray getting a chance to throw the champagne. 16-year-old Kiffin Simpson as well, and Artem Petrov, a good run as well, folks. One more time, everybody down here, a round of applause, folks. My top 3, Kiffin Simpson, Artem Petrov, and the winner today, Hunter McElray.